morning all, this is Sam working as TGT English in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. Today we'll explore reported speech. It's all about how to convey someone else's words without quoting them directly. By mastering these rules, you'll not only be able to excel in exams but also improve your communication skills. Let's learn all the tenses, sentence types, the kinds of sentences which are there and how to convert them, and also take a look at strategies how to tackle CBSE board questions effectively, especially the section B grammar part. Dealing with the basic concepts of reported speech. The key terms that one must understand are reporting verb and reported speech. So now what is reporting verb? The verb introducing the speech, for example, said or asked. These are the words which are used in reporting speech, as in the speech which someone is reporting to you. So this is a reporting verb, for example, said and asked. So what is reported speech? The content that is being conveyed. So if I am telling the quotes of Tom said me something, and I am telling it to somebody else. So the thing that Tom told me, which I am conveying to somebody else, that is called as reported speech, because I am reporting Tom's speech to someone else. Let's take an example. So in direct sentence we have, the teacher said, the earth revolves around the sun. In indirect speech, we convert it to, the teacher said that the earth revolves around the sun. If we take a look at the verb said here, it indicates that we are restating what the teacher mentioned. Since the statement is a universal truth, the tense doesn't change. So this is one thing that everybody must remember for universal facts or statements. Universal statements, the tense will not change in the reporting speech. Here are some rules for changing tenses in reported speech. While the reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense of the reported speech changes as follows. So when the reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense will also simultaneously change. So for example, if we have direct speech tense as simple present, it will be converted to simple past. For example, Ron said, I like my boss. I like my boss is in simple present. Here if you see, Ron said that he liked his boss, that means the present simple like is becoming or getting converted to liked in the simple past. This shows the event is being reported later after the event took place, as in Ron said that he likes his boss. So we are reporting that after Ron said it. So hence it's all in past. Coming to the second one, present continuous gets converted to past continuous. If we take a look at the example, Reena said, I am visiting my friend tomorrow. So here Reena said that she was visiting her friend the next day. The action am visiting, or the present continuous structure am visiting, is an ongoing action. So it changes to was going when it gets converted to past continuous. The third one in the present forms is present perfect is getting converted to past perfect. For example, Vishnu said, I have bought a laptop. Vishnu said that he had bought a laptop. Have bought becomes had bought to indicate a completed action in the past. Present perfect continuous gets converted to past perfect continuous. Munir said, I have been learning English. Munir said that he had been learning English. This is how you will convert the sentence. So the ongoing action have been learning, which is in present continuous, changes to had been learning to its respective past forms. So till here we completed the 4 forms of present. So what happens to all the four forms of present? It converts to its respective past forms. So present simple to past simple, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous. This is all easy till here. So what happens to the sentence if it's already said, if somebody is telling me which is already about something which already happened in the past, then we are going to see some rules. So if somebody is telling me a sentence in past simple, it will get converted to past perfect. So here we have a simple mnemonic or a simple rule to remember, where the present wants to be perfect and past also wants to be perfect, but perfect past will wants to remain the same because it's already perfect. So all the present wants to be past and past wants to be perfect, and perfect will remain the same. So that is perfect wants to be perfect. So here we can see simple past is getting converted to past perfect. Suppose if we say Sahran said I bought a car, here you can convert it to Sahran said that he had bought a car. Had plus V3 is past perfect. So we say simple past bought is becoming past perfect had bought. So that is how the sentences are converted. Suppose if we take a look at the screen, here we have I saw it. It becomes to he said that he had seen it. Had plus V3 is what we are going to see. So the next one is past continuous. Past continuous turns into past perfect continuous. So here we see the past continuous tense changes to the past perfect continuous. So as we see in the example, she said I was watching TV. It's getting changed to she said that she had been watching TV. If we take another example, Martha said I was watching TV. Martha said that she had been watching TV. Was watching becomes had been watching to indicate it happened earlier. So this is how it gets converted. So past perfect, as we said, past perfect wants to be perfect. So here if we take a look at I had completed, he said, it will remain the same. So if you take a look at the conversion, he said that he had completed it. So it perfectly remained the same. The last one here in the past forms, past perfect continuous, it also will remain the same. There is no change in these two. So out of the 12 tenses, forms of tenses, you need not remember about the two. Just remember about the rest of the 10. Similarly to this, we have if I take an example, Balu said I had cooked dinner. It will be converted to Balu said that he had cooked dinner. You just have to change the pronoun there, I to he, that's it. So Balu said that he had cooked dinner. So past perfect stays unchanged or untouched because it's already in the farthest past tense. That means there is no more past than that. You can report it in the farthest past. So that is past perfect continuous. You can say we're just taking a look at a past perfect example. So if we say past perfect continuous, I had been waiting, you can get converted to she said that she had been waiting. It remains the same. Coming to the future part, there is a bit that you just have to note. It's not much difficult. You just have to change would to will to would. So for example, future simple, it's getting converted to its conditional form, as in you are applying a condition. Tom said that I will complete the task. Tom said that he would complete the task. So here will changes to would to indicate a future action from a past perspective. So would is of course the past form of will. So that is how it just changes. So what is it indicating here? It's indicating a future action from the perspective of past. So this is where we see the conditional stuff. So future continuous, coming to the next one, future continuous is also getting converted to conditional continuous. For example, here we have I will be studying is getting converted to she said that she would be studying. You just have to change will to would. And also, as we see, future perfect, it's also getting converted to its conditional perfect. So if we say I will have finished is getting changed to he said that he would have finished. All this will be remaining same, just that you have to change will to would. So future is most of the part very easy. In board exams, mostly they'll be asking you the conversions which are happening from present perfect to past perfect, or past perfect they will ask, so that so that will be testing whether you remember that you should not change the tense in past perfect tense. And similar with past perfect continuous. Sometimes they even ask very simple stuff, keeping every student in mind. Suppose if they'll ask some simple sentence where a sentence is given in simple present, you just have to convert it to simple past. This is how reporting speech goes. It's all simple, you just have to remember the rules. So coming to the last one, future perfect continuous. Here also the conditional perfect continuous will come into action, where we see, suppose if we say Mary said I will have completed it, gets converted to Mary said that she would have completed it. Here if we see, will have changes to would have to reflect a completed action in the future from the past perspective. So the view of the past, so somebody is viewing it from the past and telling about a future action. So that is how it is converted. The third thing which you're supposed to remember is the change in pronouns and time expressions. This is another thing which is very important. So most of the students try to make errors here in changing the pronouns he to she. We'll just discuss about it. So pronouns, they adapt the pronouns based on the speaker and the context. This is how you are supposed to change. For example, if we take an example, I will complete it, said Tom. If you're converting this sentence, Tom said that he would complete it. So why are we not using she would complete it here? Just because we are assuming that Tom is a male. So when we are using a male, we are supposed to use the male pronoun he. Tom said that he would complete it. So if the sentence is reversed and said Tom will complete it, said I will complete it, said Reena, then we will say Reena said that she would complete it. So I becomes he to match the subject Tom, or I will become she to match the subject Reena. Similarly, we have some time expressions. What do these time expressions represent? If the given sentence is saying today, it will get changed to that day. So as we can see here, today becomes that day. So while converting this direct speech, we can say expression today is transformed into that day. These are the stuff where students get to make very minute errors. Just forgetting to convert that last part of the sentence today into that day will make you lose a mark. So it's just a note, please do keep that in mind. And tomorrow becomes the next day. Similarly, we see yesterday becomes the previous day. Here becomes there, and now becomes then. So here we can see an example of transformation. I will meet you here tomorrow is getting converted to he said that he would meet me there the next day. So you can see this is given in future simple. I will meet you here tomorrow. And how will you apply the rule of future simple, where you'll convert it using a conditional? He said that he would instead of will. I got changed to he, and will is getting changed to would. Meet me here got converted to there, and tomorrow got converted to the next day. You can also use the following day. So these changes help align the timeline between the direct and indirect speech when you're making this small conversions. Let's just go into the kinds of sentences and how to convert for each of the sentence. So here we have the major types of sentences, or the kinds of sentences that we have are 4 in English, only 4. So here we have the first type will be an assertive or a declarative sentence. The second type will be an interrogative sentence. Third one comes your imperative, and then your exclamatory sentences. So in these four sentences, we have different rules where you have to apply your conversions. Just knowing how to convert tenses, then converting the time frames or these small verbs, pronouns and time frames, and the third part is your converting a sentence. How to know knowing how to convert a sentence will get you through reported speech like a cakewalk. So here the first one, we take a look at assertive sentences, how to convert an assertive sentence. So we use that to connect the sentences. For example, I enjoy reading. It's asserting something or declaring something that the person enjoys reading. So I enjoy reading, said Sarah. So or we can say, she said, I love reading. She is just stating that she loves reading. It is getting transformed to, she said that she loved reading. That is coming because it's an assertive or a declarative sentence. So I love reading is in present. It gets present simple. It gets getting converted to past simple. That is, she said that she loved reading. So the affirmative tone remains unchanged, and enjoy becomes enjoyed, or love becomes loved in the examples that I give. Coming to the second type, that is interrogative sentences. So interrogative sentences are again divided into just two small types. Just so in total you also have to remember 5 rules for these 4 sentences. So what are those interrogative sentences into 2 types? The first one is yes or no questions. What do you mean by yes or no questions? So when somebody asks you, if somebody asks you, did you finish your homework, or is the assignment completed? This is an interrogative question, definitely, that somebody is asking you a question. But these are the type of questions where you can answer with an yes or no. So when you are able to answer with an yes or no, there is a small clause which comes here. You have to use if or whether. For example, the direct sentence gives us here, he asked, did you finish? It becomes to, he asked if I had finished. So did you finish is in past tense, so it gets converted to past perfect. That is, he asked if I had finished. Here we can see another example. The teacher asked, did you finish your homework? The teacher asked if they had finished their homework. You can use the pronoun they, and then had finished. Finished becomes had finished their homework. And this is how you will say, add a clause there after asked or said. You'll be adding if. So most of the part in interrogative sentences, the reporting verb will be asked, because somebody is asking you a question. So the teacher asked if they had finished their homework. Did becomes had, and if introduces the question. That is what it happens here. Coming to the next part, that is WH questions. These retain the question word when converted into reported speech. For example, what is your name? The WH question comes into the structure of the sentence, as in you will add a subject plus your reporting verb plus the WH question, and then comes the rest of the sentence as an object. So here if you see, what is your name? She asked. It's getting reported as she asked what my name was. If we take another example, the teacher asked, where are you going? Where are you going? It gets converted to, the teacher asked where I was going. Are going is in present continuous, was going is in past continuous. So the teacher asked where I was going. So the where WH question, it directly comes into the converted sentence. If we go to the third one, next one, that is the imperative sentences. In imperative sentences, you just have to use 2 infinitive form, that is 2 plus a base verb. For example, imperative sentences are the sentences which are giving you some orders. Suppose do this, do that, close the door, open the door, sit down, stand up. So for example, if you say, submit your assignments, said the teacher. The teacher said to the students. So it gets converted to the teacher told the students, or the teacher told them to submit. You can see submit your assignment is getting a small to infinitive form of the verb there. Submit is getting converted to submit, that is to infinitive, to submit their assignments. For example, you can see here the command close the door, he said. It gets reported, he told me to close the door. Close the door, he said. It's getting converted to he told me to close the door. So close is getting converted to close. And the last sentence, if we go to the exclamatory part, exclamatory sentences. So the change in exclamation into a statement with expressions like exclaimed. You will be using the words like exclaimed. If we use, for instance, what a beautiful day, he said. It's getting converted to he exclaimed that it was a beautiful day. So what the mood is retained, but the structure becomes formal. So this is how you are supposed to convert. These are the rules with this is how you are supposed to convert, and with this the rules of reported speech are completed. So all these rules. So one is the tenses. You are supposed to know what tense is given in the sentence. Number two, identify the pronouns that you are supposed to change, pronouns and the time frames that you are supposed to change. Number three, you are supposed to identify what is the sentence type, the kind of sentence that was given, and you have to convert that as well. With this, it completes the rules. Now we'll just take a look at how CBSE questions are asked in the board exam. What patterns are being asked in the CBSE question papers from the past years. So for example, here we can see they are asking you but the stuff where they are giving you dialogues between, suppose, a vendor and a customer. For example, a vendor says, are you feeling all right today? And the customer says, yes, I am doing much better than before. So now they will ask you, they will give you the first conversion and tell you to write the customer's report the customer's dialogue. So then you have to convert the customer's dialogue into using all these rules, and then write the answer in your paper. So the vendor asked his customer if he was feeling okay. The customer responded positively, and they will give you a blank dash. You have to fill it. This is one type where they use where they give you. So the customer responded positively, saying that he was doing much better than before. Here is a small tip where you have to recognize. So you have to recognize that this is an yes or no question, and you're supposed to use if in between, because are you feeling all right today? It's an yes or no question, and it's an interrogative question as well. So interrogative question, and the subtype is yes or no. So you're supposed to identify that and change am to was as well. So the tense is also being changed, and also you're adding an if. So that is what you're supposed to do. For example, we take an example 2. So this is the second type of question that how a CBSE board exam can ask. So Rashi is telling us dialogue. So have you encouraged others to volunteer? And Ratul says, absolutely, I always encourage my friends to volunteer. And they will give you 4 options now. You have to choose the correct conversion. Option A, whether he encouraged others to volunteer. Option B, whether he had encouraged others to volunteer. Whether he encourages others to volunteer. Whether he is encouraging others to volunteer. So you have to identify the correct option. So don't just read the options directly. Try to read the sentence first. So what are you supposed to identify? The tense. Have encouraged is getting converted to had encouraged. And you also have to focus on the tense consistency in throughout the sentence. So it's a WH question. So whether he had encouraged others to volunteer, option B will be the correct answer. So we are coming to some of the tips that CBSE students must know while attempting the paper on paper for English regarding reported speech is that you have to identify the reporting verb's tense. So what tense is it given? The reporting verb determines whether tense changes are necessary or not. For example, if said is in the past, all tenses in the reported speech will move back. And you're supposed to focus on the sentence type, where you have to determine sentence as whether it's an assertive, interrogative, imperative, or an exclamatory sentence. So you are supposed to use appropriate connectors like that. So if it's an assertive, you'll use that. If it is an interrogative question with this yes or no, you'll be using it for whether. If it is an interrogative question directly, you'll be using WH question directly in the conversion. And if it's an imperative, you will be using to plus infinitive. So that is what comes. Number 3 tip, the third tip is you should be paying attention to the pronouns. So adjust the pronouns based on the subject and object for the of the reporting sentence. So suppose if it is I often changes to he or she depending on the speaker. This is how you should be identifying and changing the pronouns. Fourth one is you have to change the time expressions as we discussed. So the words like today and yesterday maybe or must be shifted to align with the must be shifted so that they'll align with the reported context. So today will become that day, yesterday will become the previous day. Number 5 is practice. So all I can say is practice. So review the past CBSE board papers to understand common patterns and apply rules effectively. So with practice becomes a man perfect. So that is what this reported speech is all about. So you just have to follow some of these rules, small tricks, and you can it's assured that you're scoring 4 out of 4 in all the options, which are all the sentences which are given for reported speech. So with this we'll try to end the session on reported speech. So one closing thought as we have here: grammar is the foundation of language. The better you understand it, the more clearly and confidently you can express yourself. So that's it for today. Thank you all.